Alrighty, folks, it is time to buckle up. Unfortunately, what I have been afraid of and been warning about for weeks now appears to be happening. The turmoil in the region of Iran is not getting any better. In fact, it's getting worse. I think we're on day 12 of strikes. And now we've got the Red Sea also, which controls about 12% of commerce. That has sent Brent into the triple digits. Yes, we are now once again back over 100. My fear is this could go to 125. That has caused the 10-year note to rip. It is now over 4.7 and at a 52-week high. Mortgage rates are going to certainly be up. We should hug a mortgage spread, but there's just not much juice left to squeeze as the mortgage spreads are about back to their historical norms. What does this mean? Well, I think it means mom and dad are going to get scared. And when mom and dad get scared, investors should get greedy. We're going to have this conversation with Jonathan from Convoy Home Loans about the market. We're also going to touch on a product that you may be excited about if you're doing ground up development or heavy remodels. Pay attention in the end. But Jonathan, we got to hit the market. It is an ugly day in the mortgage market if you're looking at rates, correct?
Yeah, it's everyone this morning worsening emails, alerts, nonstop, blowing everyone up. And what's interesting actually is I started seeing the articles on the rates actually getting worse, like maybe a day ago, right?
Mhm.
And by that time, classic, right? By that time that the news already hit, it already started taking off, right? Which is basically today. So rates conventional wise have definitely been affected. Everything's higher from last week, at least. Everything's higher by at least a quarter, right? Minimum.
Yeah.
But this is again where you hug a mortgage spread and you also hug the time that it takes for DSCR and non-QM loans to catch up to conventional loans.
Yeah. Good point.
The difference there is maybe an eighth. It's not as big right now, but as we've been talking about every single week, like it, lock it, move on. This is why we've been saying that, because it's in. I wish there was a thing we could clip and know that this is what we talked about like 5 weeks ago, where we're like, it can go up as fast as it goes down, but in this market, it's actually going to go up faster than it goes down. So, everything's kind of everything's jumped, definitely.
Yeah, one of the things that I wish is I hope more and more people in my audience took advantage of that window where I did cash out refis. Remember we did that and I think got 599 on cash out refis, which is crazy. Because again, it's about having dry powder when the market gets afraid. And I think we're a couple of weeks away from the market really, really getting afraid. And what does that really mean? Well, it means that your average home buyer is going to pull back. They just are. Mom and dad get scared. They're not signing a 30-year mortgage. It's just how they roll. Second, some people have to sell. And if you are unlucky and you have to sell in the environment that is here or coming, the only buyers are going to be people like me. And, we got capital early, right? 7 figures, more than that. And we're going to write some disrespectful offers. And you're probably not going to like them. But guess what? If you have to sell and I'm the only buyer, we do what we do. And so, what I want my audience to realize is the market's going to get better for us. As crazy as that seems, it's going to suck to be a flipper. It's going to suck to be a home buyer. It's going to suck to be somebody who needs to do a commercial loan refi. Oh my God. Can you imagine a multifamily refi right now?
Insane.
Oh my goodness. I couldn't imagine. Oh my scary thought. But if you're an investor who's got some liquidity and, you're not opposed to writing disrespectful offers, it's going to be an amazing time. I'm smiling, right? Because again, I know that, for 90% of the market, it's going to suck. But for the 10% that are prepared, we're going to go ham. And that's why I love the videos. We do 3 videos a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I have receipts. And yeah, it's as bad as it is for lots of people, it's good for us investors.
Yeah, and I think the fear greed obviously indicator that people are always talking about, and I think a lot of people ignore that monitor, right? Of the fear and greed, extreme fear and extreme greed. And right now, it's if the indices could go any further below extreme fear, right?
It's
That's
it's
where
slammed.
it's yeah, it's beyond that point. And like you said, this is what we keep saying time and time again. Like, write those offers, get as much credit as possible. Like I said, DSCR 6% you can get up to on seller credits. Like, this is the time
Go
you
get
use
greedy.
these headlines, right, to be able to capitalize on those moments and make the deals fit your box. Like, this is what rare time again where you're not fitting into someone else's box. You're having them fit into your box.
If you're the only buyer, you get to call the shots. And that's the market we're in some parts of the country. And I think we'll be in a lot more in the next 2 to 4 weeks. If this thing goes as sideways as I fear it will, the investors are going to be the only ones that win. It's just how it's going to happen.
Yeah. And I just want to remind people that the market in terms of valuation is only the market if there are things selling around it.
Yeah.
Right.
Buyers and sellers. It has to be a
Yeah.
transaction, mutual
Exactly.
meeting of the minds. Yes.
Exactly. So you can't just all of a sudden conjure up this market that you think of where things should be and how much things are worth. It's not like that anymore. You have to almost go back to the reassessment. And this is why we've been telling people, underwrite at 7, right? If you
Yes.
underwrite at 7%, like, this is, hey, look, you've been prepared for this.
Yep.
You underwrote at 7, you're probably going to end up
ham.
with a mid or low 6. Like, you can go ham now. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, there's people that watch my channel, the people that come to Convoy that are flippers. If you're mid project right now and you're a month out, think about a plan B. Just start thinking about a plan B, whether that be a bridge loan or, it's sometimes timing sucks.
Yeah.
And if we get into this environment where the straight's down and then the Red Sea's down and another 12%, we've got $125 oil. We've got the Fed who mistakenly raises rates. Dude, do you know that the Fed, the odds of a Fed rate hike next week are 36%?
Crazy.
36.
It's nuts. It's nuts.
Where did that come from?
That's nuts.
This is gonna get bananas.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously I'm actively investing in the market as well, and buying. And for me, like, I just exited out of 2 projects, like, selling wise, and I ended up just barely making a tiny profit because I started the project way long before, like 9 months ago, 10 months ago, and then it took a little longer than expected to get things done, and then got it done and tried to sell it, and then it didn't sell for the market price of what it was supposed to sell at because rates all of a sudden did this, and everyone freaked out. Like, you have to factor everything in, right? I'm learning as I go too, but like, that's the stuff where if you're especially if you're in a bridge loan right now, a shorter term loan, like, if you do not have a plan B, like Zuber's talking about, where you're going to have an exit, either a refinance or another bridge or whatnot. Like, if you don't have that lined up, the next month is going to be the most painful month for you. Next 2 months probably are going to be the most painful. Yeah, they're going to be the most painful months for you. So if you do not have, I think, a 60-day plan or even a 90-day plan, just to be safe, right? Because at the end of 60 days, what might happen is if things start to cool off, we don't know, right? But if things start to cool off, then people aren't going to start moving again until they feel warm and fuzzy. And I don't know how long it's going to take for someone to feel warm and fuzzy again after going through this beating.
I will go one step further. It might take to the spring selling season 2027. It could.
Wow. I mean, I think people need to take a step back. I think what Zuber's talking about, people need to take a step back, just take a breath, listen to that, digest it, and understand that is the condition we're talking about right at this moment, and then start doing all your deals based on that. Now your time frame is not 90 days. It's not even through the end of the year. Spring of next.
No,
Now you have to look at almost a year time frame.
correct. 9 months at least. Yeah. Yeah. You got to be
So
prepared for a, I don't know how else to say it, but a nuclear winter. If the American consumer gets scared and mortgage rates go to 7, which they could, right? The Fed raises rates, inflation spikes. We got a world. I mean, dude, inflation spiking into a worldwide recession. Oy, yuck. But again, just the whole beauty of getting wealthy is you can hold through these cycles. And again, I'm not telling you it will last till next spring. I'm just saying be prepared that it could last until next spring. There's a subtle difference there, but an important one.
And I think definitely keep writing your deals at 7, right? Like prepare for that worst. I think more than anything now, right, than before, write it at 7%. We don't know if we're going to get there or if we're going to touch there. I saw some pricing for some lower FICO borrowers with higher leverage, like they're already beyond 7, right? So
coming.
It's starting to trickle down, right? And it's going to start hitting the top tier borrowers.
Yeah.
And everyone has to be prepared for that, whether it be next spring or 6 months or 9 months from now or 5 months from now, whatever that time frame is. I think everyone needs to look a little longer than just the next 2 months, the next 3 months.
Amen.
You can't really look at through the end of the year anymore. We're already in August, basically.
Yeah.
Right. So the year is almost over. So now everything that you're planning for, everything that you're offering on has to be, let me look at the time frame beyond just this year. It's not Survive 26 anymore. It's going to turn into a Survive 27 is what it's going to end up being. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you guys did bring a new product to market that might actually be very interesting if you are starting something brand new today, because it is a very heavy construction, maybe even ground up development, because those projects will probably take 9 months if you start today and thus get you to the spring selling season. Tell us about this one-time close DSCR loan. What is a one-time close and how does it operate and why is it an exciting product?
Yeah, super cool product because right now it exists for obviously primary and secondary homes through banks and lenders and whatnot for the traditional underwriting sense. This is specifically for investment properties using DSCR. They calculate the debt coverage upfront, 1.25 debt coverage has to be the hit. The construction loan ends up being 12 to 18 months.
Okay.
So construction / heavy rehab, meaning it can't just be, let me just put paint on the walls, right? So they're gutting a property, redoing it, that type of thing. 12 to 18 months, it'll probably end up being somewhere in like the 8-ish to 9-ish% range, interest only.
Which is not bad. If you guys don't know,
not.
construction loans are typically that and variable. So this is not horrible right now.
Yep. It'll lend up to 75% of the total cost of the project. So that's where a little bit of the restriction comes in. I think that's where the future proofing for the fund comes in, because typically if you're doing a construction loan right now, like we could get like 85, 90%, 92.5, 95 of total cost. But if you're doing this product and you want to go one-time close, they bake in a little bit of their like conservative underwriting, exactly, with the 75% of the total cost. And then after that, it'll automatically convert into a 30-year fix. This is the thing that a lot of ORAT community and a lot of clients have asked for. Can I get a loan that I do a heavy rehab or a construction and then I don't need to pay the closing costs and do everything all over again to do a DSCR loan? Yes, this is your answer. If you fit within those walls of that's your project, right? That's your bread and butter. This is the perfect product for you to be able to kind of transition from one to the other. As long as you're not trying to pull out cash, as long as you're not trying to do anything else after the fact, you just want to roll in. It'll just adjust down to whatever the market rate is at that time with no cost, and then just float down and then go into a 30-year fix.
I like it. One question for you, and if you don't know, it's totally fine, but one of the things that we're seeing in California is at least San Jose, California have successfully sold their first ADU, right? They condoized it. So I'm curious, could somebody own a home already and then use this loan to be the construction on the ADU? And if they want, or is that, and if you don't know, it's cool. But I'm just
On an
curious.
investment property, as long as it's one ADU, it's okay. You
Okay.
can't like there's a thing where people are doing, trying to
Multiple,
build
no.
multiple
Yeah.
ADUs, and that's
Just a
not
single.
okay.
Right.
But just a single ADU, yeah. And then obviously, to add to that point, we have another product that's more niche than this one, which is like TIC financing, like
Ah.
tenants in common financing, which is kind of in the same lane as condos, but obviously different.
Mhm.
But that is becoming a little more popular for higher dollar markets where people are selling off different parts
Yeah.
of their
It's coming.
property.
I think
Yeah,
that's something, San Jose Mercury News just reported the first one ever sold. Again, Thatch Nguyen actually knows the guy, and hopefully we'll get him on the channel. And I think it's coming. I think this stuff is slowly ramping. I think San Diego is right behind them. They're going to start selling these. So I think there's going to be a lot of people kind of adding density via these ADUs. So I think
yeah,
having a product around that's going to be a good idea for someone.
for sure, absolutely. And we're trying to find more and bring more to the channel. So keep
There you go.
staying tuned. Yeah,
There you go. If
yeah.
somebody wanted to reach out and have a conversation about what's right for them, what do they do?
Go to convoyhomeloans.com/ORAT and you'll see a inquiry form specifically for you guys.
There you go, folks. He added
Yeah.
us to his website. How cool is that? The link is right there on the screen. Convoy Home Loans. That's with an S, homeloans.com/ORAT. Go there, start the process, and work with Jonathan here or his partner, Dustin. If you reach out to Convoy cold, you are going to end up in a queue, and you're better than that. So go there, start the process. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.